Hey guys, this is Madhav and I'm back with another video. So I'd like to start today's video with a small phrase which is quite popular. The only thing that is certain in life is uncertainty. I think this is the most befitting statement, at least considering how things have been in the current scenario in the past almost 2 years since COVID has struck us, because there is nothing that's certain and there is a lot of confusion, commotion, hassles, and ups and downs that's been happening in everyone's life in the past 2 years. So now, in this kind of situation, you must have also seen a lot of memes on social media that says this is 2022 and all of that, right? So I'm pretty sure with all of this commotion going on, you would be pretty distracted from your preparation or studies, and you'll have your own set of confusions, and you'll be worried about the upcoming hassles that are about to come across in your way. So now I'm just here to talk about um, how to stay focused and how to prepare during such times of uncertainty and while being in such a panic mode. Well, you might ask me, well, how do you know on how it feels like to be under such uncertainty or under such situation before an exam? Well, if that's going to be your question, then my answer to it would be a big yes. Because my exam originally was supposed to be the May 2020 exam. So our batch was the first ones to get massively hit by the COVID and its impact. And not just once or twice, but we faced postponement for 4 times, because in March month we got the shocking news in March 2020 that the May exams had been postponed to June. And then in the beginning of May, they said it's going to go to July. And then in the first week of July, we got to know that the exams have been cancelled. That entire attempt got just cancelled and it got merged with the November 20 attempt. And that's not the end of it, guys. In November, like in the beginning of November or end of October, we got another notification that said that the exams were postponed to the fag end of November. So that was like counts for 4 postponements. And until we went into the exam hall and wrote our exam or even the first paper, we were not sure if the exams are actually going to even happen. So that's the amount of uncertainty, that's the amount of confusion and chaos amidst which we all prepared and studied. So it was a very difficult thing indeed. So I'm here to just share with you all some of the personal insights or learnings that I had from that journey back in 2020, and also to share some of the mistakes that some of my friends and I had done back then, which I don't want you people to repeat right now if history were to repeat itself. Touch wood. So on that note, let's get started. And I'm just going to share with you a few simple things that can be the do's and don'ts if you want to consider it. But to have these in mind will definitely help you to prepare better for the upcoming May 2022 attempt. So on that note, let's get started, guys. Okay, so I will first talk about the don'ts or certain things that you must not be doing at the very beginning. So that is the first and foremost. Do not await postponement of exams. So this is something that all of us will do. We're going to say, you know what, let me not study this chapter right now because it's too complex and anyways exams are going to get postponed. You know what, let me not solve this paper right now because exams are anyway going to get postponed. You know what, I'm not even going to study. I'm just going to take a chill pill and I'm going to relax and I'm going to watch the series, watch this movie, etc., because the exam's going to get postponed. Blah, blah, blah. No, guys, do not do that. Please do not do that, because to await the postponement of exam is like just awaiting doom. Because if it does not happen, you're just caught. And that's not right, guys. Please stay focused and continue with your original plan. And do not think that the exams are going to get postponed just because of X, Y, Z or reasons, whatever it may be. Second, please do not waste your time for hunting on news about COVID and updates about COVID, because this is another thing a lot of my friends did. Initially, even something that even I did, to go out, check all the news channels for all the updates and things on every medium possible, like a newspaper or social media or actual news on television, etc., to just, look out for if there's any possibility of another wave of COVID or if there's an increase or decrease in the cases and how things are going to be like. So stop predicting the future and don't hunt for such news, because there is no point in foreseeing or forecasting a future that is really not in our hands, right? So don't waste time doing any of this thing. Instead, focus and utilize that time and channelize those efforts and energies of yours into preparing more and revising more. And then is to not procrastinate in the last lap. So now is the last lap, guys. You all have about 100 to 115 days left before your actual exam for May 2022. So please do not procrastinate now. Do not say, I still have so much time, let me do this later. You know what, I still have this opportunity or option of maybe the exam getting postponed or something like earlier what happened, we can opt out of the exam. This, that. There are so many other options that you might be thinking about as to why you would want to procrastinate, but please just eradicate all of those from your brains and just stay focused and think that you need to only study and not do any of these other things, or don't, think about all these extra things. So basically, declutter your head from the thoughts of postponement or COVID or procrastination or being just lazy, right? And the next thing, okay, this is like the converse or the opposite of what I was talking about. So do not repeat, reread, or over revise the same topics. So what happens is some people think that, you know what, the exams are going to get postponed. So I can read the same thing so many times that I become so thorough with this. So by the time the exams are actually going to happen, I will have covered the entire syllabus multiple times, which is in a way a good thing that you're at least studying. But do not overdo the same thing, because there is not going to be much of help that it's going to do to you. Because if you keep reading the same topic and revising the same set of concepts again and again, you would actually be leaving out on a larger chunk that you might just, not have time to complete later. Because if the exams don't get postponed, you might never really get time to touch those. Even if they do get postponed, you might not focus on them as much as you did for the other topics. And in that case, there's a lot of, lopsidedness in terms of your preparation. And again, it depends on the chapters that you're planning to omit, or the chapters that you're planning to not study so much, or the ones you're planning to study towards the fag end and all of that. So that can really become like gambling in terms of your marks. So that's a call you should take. But at the same time, I strongly advise that finish as many chapters as you can and all of it at one stretch, and then start revising. Just because you think you might have more time in the future because of postponement, don't start overreading or overdoing the same or similar topics again and again. Then do not defer the RTPs and MTPs to the fag end. This is another mistake that I saw a lot of my friends do, thankfully, which I did not. Because for our attempt, like I said, there were multiple postponements and there were multiple RTPs and MTPs also that came in. And what I did was to try and attempt all the RTPs and MTPs as and when the institute released them, which means that I did not wait until I finished the entire portion, or I did not wait until I was thorough with it, because I never think there's a point of perfection or being thorough when you're preparing for such competitive exams, which have such vast syllabus like that of a CA exam. So there is no end to this ocean of studying. So just whenever you feel you're ready, just go for it. Don't wait until you finish 100% or do this or do that, right? So just go for it and attempt it, and then you will know where you stand for you to evaluate yourself and move forward in a better way. So don't think you have more time and then you do the RTKs in the end or MTKs in the end, or don't think you're underprepared, because at any point of time, this is also a part of your preparation, and this will also make you prepared for the actual exams. So just do not wait or hesitate, and just straight away go for the RTPs and MTPs as soon as you can, as well as the institute releases them. Then last thing is, do not get diverted while browsing through YouTube. So this is one mistake that even I did. So I'm not saying I was perfect. I also did a lot of mistakes along with my other friends while preparing for my exams back in 2020. And one such mistake was this. I went to YouTube just for looking through revision videos or browsing through other content or random updates about CA and studies towards my end of preparation time, for majorly for revising. But then all I ended up seeing was random updates about COVID and how that is going to impact the situation of the country, and how there might be a postponement. So I did most of the things that I advised you not to do previously. So don't end up doing that, because YouTube is a medium for you to understand and grasp a lot of things, and really helpful in terms of revising your academic content. But at the same time, if you end up getting diverted, it's just going to take you elsewhere, and the kind of content you're going to end up seeing, or the kind of updates and news that you're going to look into about COVID and things, are just going to be very, very distracting. But please don't let that diversion, take over. Please do not do that. So next up is a bunch of points that I want you to have in your mind. So these might really help you, because these did help me while I prepared for my exams. So first and foremost, let's talk in the finance terms or in the accounting terminology. Let's create a provision, or let's have a risk reserve to battle the uncertainty of exams. So the uncertainty of exams, or the happening of exams in itself, is like a contingent event. So it might happen or might not happen. So its occurrence is not known and it's not in our hands. But at least something that is in our hands is to be able to prepare for it and set aside a risk reserve or a provision. And by this, I mean nothing but our own efforts and our preparation. So the more that you prepare earlier, the more safer you are to win the battle, or just, the more you stand a chance to win the battle, if I may put it that way. So keep preparing, keep studying, keep making your own notes, keep revising, keep solving more papers. You'll be good to go whenever the exam happens. So the exam is going to happen. It is bound to happen at some point of time, right? So you never know when, but it is going to happen at some point of time, and you should write it at some point of time. So just set your pace right, keep studying, and get fully set for the battle, irrespective of when it is going to happen. Next thing is to be an optimist and look at the positives in everything that comes your way. So in this journey, there would have been a lot of hurdles that you've crossed already, and a lot more to go in the remaining days. So whatever has been thrown at you, just be happy be positive and optimistic, and make sure you make the best out of it. For instance, let's say you've already prepared very well, which might have happened to a lot of my other friends also, and it did happen to me also. We were quite well prepared, but then you again get to know that the exam's been postponed. You're fully sad about it because you really thought you're going to get done with it and you get to enjoy, but you can't. So there is some more time of stretching, some more studying, a few more days of hard work that you need to be putting in. That might be a little stressful, but it's okay. It's still fine because look at the positive side of it. If there's some chapter you've left uncovered, or if there's some topic unfinished, or some paper that you've not attempted yet, you can do that right now. And also maybe take a small break, not a full-time break, but a small break to rejuvenate and recoup yourself and just get mentally better and prepared to attempt the exam. So look at anything that comes your way in a positive way, at least the next 110 days before the exam, so that you have a very fresh and happy mind to go and attempt your exams and give your best at it. And then stick to your initial plans. You would have had some plan, or you already have a plan that you're going about with. Please stick to that and do not change. Like I said, this is again to make sure that you're on the right track. Don't think that this will happen, that will happen, and then don't start molding your plans or just modifying your plans in accordance to what might happen, because that is futuristic and you do not know about it. So stick to your original plan and keep studying accordingly. However, like I'm saying in the next point, do keep up a bunch of backup plans or a couple of backup plans, because if this goes wrong, what will I do? And that is going to be a backup plan, but never at no cost change your original plan. So regarding the future, which is uncertain, you need to have some backup plans to help you, but not about changing the original plan. So just keep that in mind. And then start early about mock tests and self-evaluation. This will also really be of great help, guys, because this did help me. So the very first mock test I attempted was in the month of February 2020, not knowing about postponements, not knowing about COVID and all of that. But then I thought my exams were supposed to be in May 2020, and I was already very late. And I started in Feb 2020 to attempt mock tests, small mock tests, chapter-wise mock tests, things like that. But still, that was very useful because the exams originally happened in November 20, but then I started my mocks in Feb 20. So throughout, I could give small tests, small chapters, etc., for every subject, and that helped me understand my mistakes and learn a lot in the long run over the months. So that way, whether there's a postponement or not, don't bother about that. And whether you're prepared or not, that's also secondary. With whatever you're prepared, how much ever you're prepared, take up the mock test, take up random assessments, and evaluate yourself. Even if it's not like you're going to pay for a mock test and attempt one, it's okay to evaluate yourself with the papers that are available online, free of cost, that you can do and check the answers yourself. So anything and everything, just make sure you're starting out afresh and starting out as soon as you can, so that you can keep up the pace and make the best out of the time that you have in hand right now. And the last point is to remember this: every extra effort, every day, 1 day more, 1 effort more, 1 hour extra more, anything and everything will definitely contribute to 1 extra mark. So keep this in mind and stay fully positive and face all the hurdles that are going to come your way. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to rock in your exam. So it's just a small video to help you out. And I really hope to make more videos in the days to come in order to help you all as much as I can in whatever way possible. So on that note, I'll be signing off right now, and all the very best for your exams. Don't get distracted. Don't worry about the postponement. It's okay even if it's going to be 2022, but just make sure you're going to make the best out of this. Good luck, guys.